No, too bright. No. It was perfect before. Oh. This is as high as it goes. Anyway. So yes, it's exam season or exam week. And I've got 2 more exams tomorrow, and instead of being a logical person and, you know, filming this video tomorrow after school, because I'm just doing it the day before my final exams. Not like I was going to study anyway. It's French and maths. So I'm just going to do a really, really simple, but it's going to be like kind of full coverage simple. Because if you cannot tell, my face has been attacked by disgusting stuff. I just wanted to look pretty today because I've been kind of avoiding makeup because of my skin. I'm going to start with primer. I'm using L'Oreal Lumiere Magique primer. Actually, first my hair, I'm going to tie it back. And I'm not going to zoom you in because my eyebrows are atrocious and I'm letting them grow out until after exams. They've been getting too thin when I do it by myself, and I don't get this top layer because I'm too afraid to do anything about it. So yes, Lumiere Magique primer. And today's the last day or the second day of the Priceline sale thing. I don't know if I want to go out and get more stuff, but I did get some things. I don't know, maybe I'll show them to you. But one of the things I did get was this brush. This is from Models Prefer, and it's a kind of flat top brush. And it's really, really soft, and I've been wanting to use it, and I washed it last night, and it's dry now. And it is so soft, and I really am excited to use it because these kind of brushes are expensive, and I got it for like $11, so that was alright. And I'm going to use Stay Fabulous CoverGirl foundation. I'm going to try it. I'm really wanting to use this because I know flat tops are supposed to be really good for buffing in flawless kind of looking foundation. Yeah, so I definitely think this is a bit too dense, and it kind of like takes a really long time to move it around your skin. But I guess that's what they all feel like. I don't know. I wouldn't know. And I don't know. I really had high expectations for this brush. So, I mean, it does good job on buffing everything out, but it just feels like there's something wrong with it. Maybe it's just me and first time using this brush, but I'm going to use it a bit more. Maybe it needs to kind of expand a bit, like flare out. Then concealer, I'm using Maybelline Fit Me. I'm almost out of this one, and I'm kind of glad because I want to try out other concealers. I'm putting it on these kind of like weird filaments that I have here, and I've been popping them, and it just gets red, and they do not want to not be red. I really enjoyed this concealer. It lasted me a pretty long time, like 1.5 years. I know that sounds like a really long time, but I just use a lot of things, so, you know. How is it running out of battery already? I just charged it. Well, thank you, Canon. I don't really care. I'm just going to buff it out with the same brush because why use a different brush? This does a nice job, actually. Then I'm just going to take the, it's like a Touche Eclat, but it's called La Touche Magique, and it's by L'Oreal. I only got it for $1 at Target, and I was like, thank you. And it's very yellow toned. I don't know how that will work, but I'm using it to brighten my under eyes. And maybe a bit on my nose. Same brush, because for eyes I'm just going to use my e.l.f. primer. It's just the eyelid primer. I really do enjoy this. It reminds me a lot of Prime Potion and my Australia's primer, and it's just really, really cheap, so it's great. It was like $2. Then I'm just going to use my Maybelline Colour Tattoo in Barely Branded, and I'm going to use my finger, even though I don't really like using my finger a lot, but it's the most effective. And it's going everywhere. Okay, I zoomed in just a bit so you can see a bit better, but And this is the problem with using your fingers, because it just gets everywhere. And since it's shimmer and it gets on the crease, it's a bit annoying. Because this one is a really good colour. Like the metal colour tattoos, I've realised, are a lot easier to blend and creamier than the other tattoos. Then I'm going to grab this Nude by Nature palette. It's my very extreme basic neutrals. It's got 3 of them. It's a really, really nice palette. I'm going to use a blending brush. I'm using the Duo Fiber brush by Real Techniques, and I'm using the mid-tone brown here. And this is just a basic. It's a nice matte palette, which is good for like from like a drugstore, even though it was really expensive. And under my eyes. Then over the top of my eyelids, I'm just going to use the this Essence eyeshadow in Cappuccino Please, and it's a really, really pretty shimmer colour. It's basically the same colour as the Kale tattoo, but in the shadow form, and I just use it to set that because they're like the exact same colour and it just makes it even more shimmery. And I'm going to blend it out just a bit more. Then just grabbing a pencil eyeliner. This is a brown one. It's by Designer Brands, and I'm going to do waterline and tight lining. And brown isn't very harsh, so it is good for a daytime neutral look. And maybe a bit on top of the lid and smudge it. Eyebrows. Just going to use Elf Eyebrow Kit, and I'll be right back. My eyebrows usually grow like crazy, grow in the places I don't want them to, so I kind of have to cheat my way out of it. Just using Mega Plush by Maybelline. They're that long because it just looks like a thin strand of lash. One eyelash always applies mascara better than the other one. I don't know why that is. I think it's because this eye has less eyelashes than this eye. Powder. Just using my CoverGirl translucent powder, which the cap broke, so I just keep the powder in there sometimes. I have had this powder for maybe 2 years, and I love it, and it's not going anywhere. And yeah. For contour, I'm just going to use my trusty old Sun Bronze Rimmel Natural Bronzer and use my Models Prefer contour brush. Models Prefer does make really nice brushes, but they just, some of them, they're a hit or miss kind of. I really like this one just because of the shape, because it fits like right nicely in my cheekbone area. But I guess everything really depends on the shape and maybe texture, but the shape for me is the one big thing, because for some people different contour brushes and blush brushes work for different faces, because this one works for mine but it probably might not work for you. So that's kind of an issue with when people say this is perfect for bronzer, this is perfect. So my battery died, and I was saying something about how using different brushes for different purposes, matching brushes to your face shape, and I want to make a video about this, but I don't know. So this one works perfectly for me because I can just put it here, because this is how my face shape works. I like using a one of these Real Techniques contour brushes. It just doesn't work. Like, I could try and it would help, but this just works so much better and it's so much easier to do for me. And like using this contour brush, it's too hard. Like, I could do that, but then I'd have to take ages blending it. Wouldn't be able to blend by then. Like, I like to use these as for contouring, but it'd just be easier to use them as a highlighter. This one I could like to use as a highlight or a blush, and this one is a... But like, this looks pretty massive for a blush, but some people use this as a powder. I like to... This is technically a blush brush, but I like to use it as blush because it just fits right on my cheek like that. I'm getting way off topic, but that's just something to be wary of, that just because one specific brush you say rave about it, say it's the best for something, it might not be the best for your shape. So you have to kind of like look around and see what works for you and then base what you buy off of that. So yeah, this was really good for me. Oh, another brush I like to use for contouring is this one. It just helps me get a closer contour. For blush, I'm using, because my face is really, really subtle today, I'm just going to be using this Golden Affair blush in Velvet at Midnight. And it's just a dark blush, but when you apply it really, really lightly, because it is pretty pigmented, so you have to be really, really careful how you, but it does blend out really nicely, so you have to be careful how you use it. And so I'm just going to apply it and blend it out like so. And look at that. So you might want to kind of brush it off your hand just before you apply it, because see the difference? And always, if you apply too much blush, you can always just blend it out with your foundation brush. And even though that you apply powder, I find this the best. Or you could use the brush used with powder. This video is going to be too long, I don't like it, but whatever. And last but not least, for lips, I'm just going to be using my Colour Whisper in Pink Possibilities by Maybelline. I really love pinks. I reckon they look really nice on my skin tone. And this is a really nice pink because it's really subtle and really nice. And over it, I'm taking this Revlon lip gloss in Strawberry Freeze. I think that's how you pronounce it, but it's a watermelon colour, and I don't like the fact that it's got so much micro glitter in it. But if I apply it very little, you can hardly see the glitter. And you can only see the glitter if it's up close anyway, but I love Revlon lip glosses. And just to end it off, I'm going to apply some Fix Plus on my whole face because it just helps kind of settle the powderiness. And it smells really, really good. To be honest, I prefer the Avene spray. You know, the canned water. Just because I feel like it gives me a nice finish, but this is more multi-purpose than that. So I love this stuff. So that's my look. I hope you like it. I'll give you a nice close-up in my natural lighting. And before I was in the bathroom and I checked it out and I was like, this actually looks really full coverage in a different kind of lighting. So I'll zoom you in. I don't really want to, but I'm going to.